Hello and welcome to another edition of Beyond the Ring podcast. That means it is Tuesday night and it is time for another edition. I have Dragon on the line with me who's pulling up some information on his laptop or his computer to be able to talk to you guys and give you guys a great indie report because he was not here to do it last week. Unfortunately, Dalton will not be a regular on this show anymore. He is terribly busy, and he will join us for a few guest spots when he has the time and ability, but for right now, he will only be doing guest spots. He will not be here every week, and Jason should be joining us on the line a little bit later in this show, hopefully. I don't know if he's doing homework or something, but whatever. I'm here. Dragon's here. Dragon, say hello to the people.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dragon. I'm here for some indie wrestling. Now, I'm reading up on some Ring of Honor today. Now, we all know what next week is. Well, Ring of Honor doesn't have any events going on, but there's two events going on next week. One is that we got the Monster Factory. It's a New Jersey-based promotion, 30 years of in-ring training. They train big superstars like Big Show, Sheamus, and all of them. Bam Bam Bigelow, to say the least. They have a pedigree out the wazoo, trained by the famous pretty boy Larry Sharp. Now, if you want to travel over there, they're having a huge tournament to decide the new Monster Factory Heavyweight Champion, as well as this coming week is CZW's Cage of Death. With Cage of Death coming, there's the main event cage. Hold on, let me pull that up. Sorry, I'm a little slow today because I have to do everything incognito here, trying to hide from people. I'm actually in a closet hiding.
I do want to throw out there for the people while you're pulling that information up. I'll give you a couple seconds there to pull that information up. I do want to tell the people that the Monster Factory show is going to be absolutely great this week. I'm going to be there live in person. I'm going to be there doing some camera work for the Monster Factory, so definitely come on out. They completely sold out and had, a huge crowd for their last show. So you guys should try to make it out if you can.
I completely agree because I know you do some of their shows. I know you gladly did a lot of their camera work. Actually, if you look on the website, there's pictures of you doing camera work for them. I'm trying to pull up the CZW. I'm on my phone right now. This is the funny part. Like I said, yeah, they're coming. The Cage of Death is probably CZW's biggest event of the year. You can't go wrong. I've been there firsthand to see the destruction of the cage. It is something like you just can't resist. I remember seeing Nick Gage versus Miyamoto for the CZW Underground Ultraviolent title, and they came right where we were at. We were at a balcony, weren't we?
Yes,
we were sitting on a balcony, and he threw him off on a table. In the Cage of Death this year, the Nation of Intoxication, Danny Havoc, Devin Moore, and Lucky 13 versus Drew Blood, Matt Tremont, Ron Mathis, and Rory Mono. That is the main event. Of course, the Cage of Death always main events every year, and every year they have a new insane structure with class. Barbed wire, thumbtacks, you name it. Some sick things go on in that cage. Besides that, this is what really I'm excited for myself is I'm very happy to, see Drew Gulak as the CZW World Heavyweight Champion, but there's one person I can't wait. He's actually in the bathroom. Okay. Sorry about that. But CW World Heavyweight Champion Drew Gulak versus the returning Chris Hero. Now, I've been boasting about Chris Hero's return to the indie wrestling scene because everyone knows Chris Hero. Am I wrong? You don't know who Chris Hero is, right?
Who's this Chris Hero? I mean, I've heard he looks like this Cassius Ohno guy that I watch, but
he has blonde hair. He has superhero tights. In fact, I find it hilarious. I remember at one CZW event, Chris Hero appeared at. He didn't wrestle. He was just there to sign autographs and all. He was selling his picture, so I bought one, of course. And he signed it, of course. And I asked him what was the first thing, what would he love to do at, WWE. He's like, the first thing I'd want to do is make sure they do not give me a cheesy name. And what did they give him? Cassius Ohno, the KO. But it's CW Cage of Death. I'm just advertising here because thing is, though, indie events are pretty hard to come by because they happen maybe once a month and they do tours, but they always advertise the main shows, which are like once a month. So it's I got nothing. All I can do is advertise and talk about little indie events that are happening. Like who got signed by WWE recently? Do you know who, Kibble? Do you know?
Who? You should enlighten me.
Who? I should definitely. I believe that was Davey Richards. I'm pretty sure. Am I right?
There is a rumor going around that he may be signed because he has parted ways with Ring of Honor.
His last appearance is coming up soon.
Yeah, I don't think that there has been an official statement yet, or that an official announcement that he has been signed yet. But I know a lot of people are saying that he may be signed because he is now no longer doing the Ring of Honor shows. Yeah,
it's pretty. I think it's pretty obvious. But let me put my last word is CZW Cage of Death this weekend. Next Tuesday, I will definitely have results for you guys. But it's nice to talk finally after 3 weeks. Remember, support indie wrestling. And sorry I had to wrap it up real quick, kids. But I got very limited time today.
No problem. No problem at all.
I appreciate the time, and I'm just saying, go CM Punk. All right. Have a good day, and support indie wrestling fans. Bye.
All right. See ya. All right. Well, I believe Dragon has left the building. Or he might still be on the line. I'm not sure. Jason should be joining us here in a few minutes. About 5 minutes, Jason should be joining us here. So I am going to just continue right on and keep moving with this show. Yep, there was a noise. He definitely left now. I'm just going to continue with this show, and I'm going to go right into Monday Night Raw from last night because it was the Slammy Awards. That's right. It was the Slammies, the 2013 Slammies, and be honest, kind of had a big problem with some of the Slammies last night, and we're going to get more into that as we go, as we kind of go through each thing. So let's go through, and here's some of the Slammies that were announced before the start of Raw. There was the breakout star of the year, and the nominees were the Wyatt family, Big E Langston, Fandango, and The Shield. And in all honesty, anybody really could have won this category, and I would have been okay with it. The Wyatt family seemed to be starting to pick up steam. I don't know if they could, righteously win this award because it felt like for a long time there they weren't doing much. Fandango, at the beginning of the year, I would say, 100%, could win this. But then, he's kind of then it kind of became a maybe for me because, then I'm not really sure, with everything that's going on with him, and the fact that they're not really doing anything with him. So, I don't know. The Shield were the winners, and I 100% agree with that statement, with that idea. I think that, they are great, and that, they are the, they do deserve the win. I'm I'm going to put it there. They deserve to win. I do want to go back real quick and state that the 2013 Slammy Awards were all voted on by fans. Now, I don't really think that this is true for some of these, but I'll keep my opinion to myself for right now. The This Is Awesome moment of the year. The nominees were Dolph Ziggler cashing in the Money in the Bank contract, Daniel Bryan winning his WWE Championship against Randy Orton at Night of Champions, Big Show knocking out Triple H, and Kofi Kingston hopping on the chair to save himself from being eliminated in the Royal Rumble match. The winner was the Big Show knocking out Triple H. That's right, Big Show knocking out Triple H, and you know what? I'm okay with this winning because the crowd was crazy into it. I know in that moment I was crazy into it. They were really building up the whole Big Show Triple H thing that absolutely fell flat on them when no one cared about the Big Show Randy Orton match, and then they completely scrapped that. Some other things that I would have preferred to see in here, like even the Daniel Bryan winning the WWE Championship from Randy Orton, I don't really feel like this should have been in there. I would have rather have seen them put the Shield Wyatt family fight in here. I think if they had put the Shield Wyatt family fight in this category, that they would have easily won. And this is awesome moment of the year. And Kofi Kingston hopping on the chair was pretty cool, but I would have preferred to see the one from the Battle Royal on Monday Night Raw where Kofi Kingston did the sunset flip over Antonio Cesaro and then was hanging on to him. And I feel like that one was much cooler than the chair to save himself. On to the next one. The trending now hashtag of the year, and the nominees are hashtag Believe in the Shield, hashtag Follow the Buzzards, hashtag Best for Business, and hashtag We the People. Pretty obvious one right here. The winner was hashtag Believe in the Shield. They never really made a big thing about making it hashtag big for, Best for Business, Follow the Buzzards. Maybe We the People could have won. I think it was pretty obvious that Believe in the Shield was going to win. And I agree that hashtag Believe in the Shield should have won. The Shield picking up their second Slammy Award during their first Slammys. Next, Beard of the Year, Daniel Bryan, the Wyatt family, Zeb Coulter, and Damian Sandow. And of course, your winner is Daniel Bryan. I feel like if Daniel Bryan was not in this category, then Zeb Coulter, or if Daniel Bryan was not nominated, that Zeb Coulter probably would have won this. I can't really be 100% certain. But I would think Zeb Coulter would win. Obviously, Daniel Bryan was going to win. Again, pretty obvious. There were a few other ones that were. Here's the full list. Well, here's the full list, but I can't seem to find on the WWE website or any other website a full listing of the Slammy Award winners. Because I know that there were some that did not show up on the pre-show. Here we go. The What a Maneuver of the Year. The nominees were Roman Reigns' Spear, Daniel Bryan's Running Knee Strike, AJ Lee's Black Widow, and Antonio Cesaro's Swing. The winner, Roman Reigns' Spear. I agree with this. It was some good stuff. Faction of the Year. The winners were The Shield, obviously. Other nominees, the Wyatt family, the Real Americans, and 3MB. Basically the only four factions that they have. And it's crazy to think that they have four factions when they didn't even really have a tag team division 2 years ago. But the Shield were the winners. I'm going to try to go a little bit quicker through some of these right now, and then I can get into more detail about the ones that I want to get more into detail for. The Couple of the Year, the winners were Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella. Lots of couples in this category, and I think Daniel Bryan, Brie Bella was a great decision. Tag Team of the Year, Cody Rhodes and Goldust. not really sure how much I like that. Not really sure how much I like that. It felt like this was definitely allowed to be voted on by the fans, or that the fans did choose the winner because they would vote for the Rhodes family. But out of all the tag teams, the Shield mainly comes to mind that could be the tag team of the year, and maybe it just maybe even if they did get more votes, that the WWE decided against it because the Shield has already taken, I think, four. They've already taken 4 Slammys. The What a Maneuver, Faction of the Year, Hashtag of the Year, and Newcomers of the Year. The You Still Got It, Best Superstar Return. The winner is Goldust, and I by and long completely agree with this and love it. Feat of Strength of the Year. The winner is Mark Henry pulls 2 trucks with his bare hands. If this Mark Henry was not in there, I would say that Antonio Cesaro's swing on the Great Khali would win. And I would honestly have preferred to see Antonio's swing win over Mark Henry pulling the trucks. But that's just me. So let's start. There were some other ones. I really don't care about some of these other ones. So we're definitely going to go to the Slammies that were on the show. Laugh Out Loud Moment of the Year. The nominees were The Rock concert, Vicky Guerrero is fired, Titus O'Neil throws up on Thanksgiving, and Jinder Mahal and the Great Khali try to charm Santino Marella's Cobra. The winner, The Rock concert. And I completely agree with this. The Rock concert should have won because, in all honesty, the three other nominees were not funny at all. Like I said, I don't think any of these were fun. I mean, the Rock concert was funny with the biatch, You Look Horrible Tonight. Still laughed at that. But these other 3, it was a no contest. The other 3 nominees were not funny at all, in my opinion. They were not funny. And I'm mad that these made it in there because I feel like there were 3 other moments that were much funnier that could have made it in there. And I'm not trying to, get onto that Daniel Bryan CM Punk train like a lot of people on the internet do. But I'm saying Daniel Bryan CM Punk, their promo before fighting the Wyatt family on Raw, where they basically took over the mic from, I think it was Renee who was doing the interview. That was funny. That was way funnier than Titus O'Neil throwing up. And I don't understand what WWE has this, affiliation. They think bodily functions and bodily fluids are funny. And I don't think anybody agrees. At least I don't. Taking a water break. The next award was Double Cross of the Year. Triple H costing Daniel Bryan the WWE Championship. Mark Henry's retirement speech. Shawn Michaels super kicking Daniel Bryan. And Paul Heyman costing CM Punk the Money in the Bank. This might have been... Actually, this, in my opinion, was the best category of the night, or best nominees for a category of the night, because I felt like any one of these 4 could have actually won, and it would have made sense and been fine. Any of these could have won. The winner was Shawn Michaels super kicks Daniel Bryan, which I agree with that. I personally voted for Mark Henry's retirement speech, and I felt like Mark Henry's retirement speech, where he trolled everybody, the fans, just, oh my God, he trolled everybody so bad with that retirement speech, and I personally think that retirement speech should have won Double Cross of the Year, but I can understand why the fans went with Shawn Michaels super kicking Daniel Bryan. And again, strongest category this year in terms of nominees. I thought any of these could have won. Let's continue on. We had the Extreme Moment of the Year. And the nominees were The Shield Triple Power bombing The Undertaker through the table, Ryback spearing John Cena through the set at Extreme Rules, CM Punk caning and beating Paul Heyman on top of the Hell in a Cell, and the Wyatt's assault Kane at SummerSlam. Can I throw this out here? Why was the Shield triple power bombing The Undertaker through a table on Extreme Moment of the Year? That wasn't very extreme, and we saw, it's just not, it's regular. The Wyatt's assault on Kane. Excuse me, half yawned there. The Wyatt's assault on Kane. Again, another thing that was not extreme, in my opinion, and, shouldn't have been in this category. Ryback spearing John Cena through the set. I'm okay with that being in there. I think that it was extreme. I didn't really expect that was going to happen in that match. Thought the way it played out was great. Excuse me. Thought the way it played out was great. Your winner, CM Punk caning Paul Heyman on top of the Hell in a Cell. It was interesting. I was reading an article about this, and someone had said that it almost felt like this the certain things were put into this category, so that way the WWE could make sure that CM Punk won a Slammy at some point. Won at least one Slammy during the night. So you can agree with that if you want. Not sure if I agree with that, but I do see what people are saying. I feel like Sheamus going through falling through the ladder at Money in the Bank, getting that huge welt on his leg would have been a much better Extreme Moment of the Year to put in there over one of those two. And I want to throw out there CM Punk coming out to receive his award. Excuse me. CM Punk coming out there to receive his award and still selling the ribs injury, which was just absolutely awesome. He was still selling the ribs injury when he got speared by Roman Reigns a little bit earlier than that, and I thought that was just absolutely great. Oh, I'm so sorry, folks. You're going to have to excuse me. I'm yawning. I'm extremely tired. All right, another one we had was Diva of the Year, and the nominees were AJ Lee, the Funkadactyls, Natalya, the Bella Twins, Caitlyn, and somehow Eva Marie. That's right, someone who really only had, 3 or 4 matches and was booed out of the building and absolutely awful, somehow was nominated for Diva of the Year. I don't understand it. Anyway, the winners, the Bella Twins. I did not expect this at all. I really thought that everybody, knowing the fan base of the WWE, I really thought everybody was going to vote for AJ Lee, and that AJ Lee would clearly win Diva of the Year. I don't know. I don't like it. The Bella Twins won. This was really the first category of the night where I was like, kind of in a, what the hell did I just witness? There's no reason that this should be happening, and this is like really ridiculous and dumb, and I don't understand why this is happening. That was kind of I think that was the first moment tonight where I got really pissed off, and I got way more pissed off than I usually do. We'll get to that. But oh my God, I'm so sorry. I feel awful. I wish there was someone else that I could back and forth with, so when I go to yawn, they could talk. Fan Participation of the Year, and the nominees were Fandangoing, the Let's Go Cena, Cena Sucks chant, R-Truth's What's Up, and Daniel Bryan's Yes. Pretty clear who was going to win here. Daniel Bryan's Yes chants that have absolutely transcended. And if you go back and look, the Daniel Bryan Yes chants, I believe, started 2 years ago, or like 2.5. Was it 2.5 years ago? Maybe it was only 2 years ago. Maybe it was only a year and a half ago. It's been a long time, and these Yes chants are still, yes and no chants are still very relevant, very loud, very predominant. and not just because they were in Daniel Bryan's hometown. Although that would be part of the reason why it was so extra loud tonight, or last night rather. Now here was something interesting. They came out and they did Superstar of the Year. They did Superstar of the Year very early in the night, which I was surprised at. Usually Superstar of the Year is left for last. But after they did that, I kind of said to myself, okay, if they're leaving Superstar of the Year for last, or not for last, then that means Match of the Year must be last. And I had looked online to see what the nominees were. So I wondered to myself, are they expecting The Undertaker and CM Punk to win, and The Undertaker's going to come out to accept the award, and then someone will interrupt him or something that will set up his WrestleMania match? I know there's been a lot of rumors going on about this year being an Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. Again, don't know if it's going to happen. Just saying the rumor is The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. So I almost had this feeling like, oh, what if Taker and Punk win? Punk already came out and accepted an award. So The Undertaker's music plays, he comes out, and then whoever he's going to fight at WrestleMania comes out and has a stare down with The Undertaker. And what a great Slammy this would be, you know what I mean? That's what I thought was going to happen. We'll get into what actually happened. So we had Superstar of the Year pretty early in the night. Our nominees were John Cena, Randy Orton, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, The Big Show, and Brock Lesnar. Since it was fans voting, I just want to put out there, it was fan voting. I would have been, honest to God, shocked if someone other than CM Punk or Daniel Bryan had won this, and I feel like people would have really realized that it was rigged, which I ended up getting mad at later. And I think that's someone calling in. Hello? Hello? Maybe not. Jason, is that you? Okay, maybe, oh, whoa, okay, it just dinged. Is somebody there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. It made some, noise, and I was like, is anybody there?
Yeah, I'm here.
It's all good, it's all good. Jimmy was on a little bit earlier, but he had to leave. And at the start of the show, I informed everybody that, unfortunately, Dalton does not have the time to be a full-time participant for this show, so he will be on a special guest basis. So when he is available, he will join us.
Okay.
But Jason is here.
Yes,
Jason,
the champ is here.
The champ. He's got to defend his champion. He's got a little bit better odds. Instead of defending against 4 people, he's going to defend against 3 people for TLC this weekend. So he's got he went from 25% to 33%.
Yep. Every number counts.
Yeah. Did you happen to catch Monday Night Raw last night?
I caught everything except for the last bit where they announced the 2 champions.
Okay. I was just, and I'm talking about the Slammies kind of out of order here, but I was just talking about Superstar of the Year, and I was just saying that Daniel Bryan was voted Superstar of the Year and the winner.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know if I agreed with that. I voted for CM Punk. I'm always liking what he's doing, but I mean, Daniel Bryan did have a good year, so I wasn't too mad about that. But there was just a few other Slammy Awards that were kind of iffy. Like, honestly, the Diva of the Year. Come on, the Bella Twins.
I had just talked about that I felt like this was rigged, and they were almost like, okay, we'll give the audience vote to some of them, but there's some of them that we want something specifically to win, and it felt like this was that because deep down in my heart, I was like, I don't really think the Bella Twins really got more votes than AJ.
No, I
totally agree with that. I voted for AJ, and I think their show is just making what the WWE kind of wants. So I guess that they just wanted them to win and keep pushing them, I guess.
Keep pushing the Total Divas, which is going to be having its Season 1 finale this Sunday, so I'm going to have to record it because TLC's on. Although, technically, I'll be watching TLC with no volume because, like, the musical is on. It's going to be a crazy weekend. So I mean, I agree with Daniel Bryan winning the Superstar of the Year. I feel that he deserves it. And out of this list, CM Punk did have a really good year and be in some really good storylines. But I felt like this was Daniel Bryan's year.
Yeah, I think it was the year of Bryan. I think that the way he's going right now, hopefully maybe he'll be it next year. But this was at least the second half of the year was the year of Bryan.
Yeah, I feel like he really started picking up steam in April and May, right after WrestleMania, and this was almost like the year that Daniel Bryan proved he can be a main event player and that people are interested in Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say something, how you said main event player. I really hate how Brodus Clay says, "Oh, I'm a main event player." He's a what? Oh, that just irks me. I just can't stand that. It's just, you're nowhere near the top. Stop. You're never going to be.
I'm with you, but I gotta say, this was the Brodus Clay that was originally promised to us before they did weeks and weeks of vignettes and then had him come out, being a Funkasaurus.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know much on Brodus Clay, but it looks like they're trying to push towards maybe him breaking up with Tenzai, and they're gonna have a little rivalry. It seems like right after we said something a few weeks ago, how they weren't making stories, they're trying to do it now.
Yeah,
they're doing it with every single thing.
Yeah, and I really like that, and I feel like we may be getting the monster Brodus Clay that we were originally advertised. Not that I didn't like the Funkasaurus when he first came out, but I think that gimmick has kind of run its course, and I think he's going to turn into a monster heel, and I feel like he could be that heel similar to how Mark Henry was, not when he gave the whole retirement speech and stuff, but when he first started doing the Hall of Pain stuff, and like he attacked the Big Show and then attacked Kane and went after Randy Orton in the World Heavyweight Championship. I feel like Brodus Clay could be that kind of monster heel if they book him right.
Yeah, I think he could too. I mean, he hasn't. I don't know how he hasn't really proved his mic skills, but we'll have to see how that goes. I think towards maybe the Mark Henry would be better because we don't really know what to expect from him because we haven't really got to hear him yet.
No, I completely agree. The next category we're going to look into was Insult of the Year. And the nominees were Zeb Coulter's insults about sneaking across our borders, Paul Heyman's various rants that he drove upon CM Punk, Stephanie McMahon degrading the Big Show, and AJ Lee dropping the Divas pipe bomb. And the winner was Stephanie McMahon degrading the Big Show.
And I disagreed with that again. I voted for AJ's pipe bomb. I thought that was like the Divas division needed some sort of push, and I think that's kind of where they gave it, and I thought that should have been Insult of the Year. I liked the whole, it almost felt like CM Punk was sitting there.
I agree. I did vote for AJ's pipe bomb, and I do wish that AJ's pipe bomb had won, but I could understand how and why Stephanie McMahon degrading the Big Show won, because there was some really good insulting, and it's fresher in the younger generation. It's fresher in people's minds. As much as I wanted AJ drops the pipe bomb to win, I thought that was better. I could see why Stephanie won.
Yeah, and to say at least Big Show took the slaps like a man and didn't cry this time. So I mean,
she even mentioned that. She was like, "What are you gonna do? Cry?" while she was slapping him. It was good stuff. Good segment.
Yeah, well, that was actually one I enjoyed with the authority.
Yeah. So let's go on to our final Slammy of the night. Match of the year. The nominees were.
That infuriated me.
Hold on, wait. I got you. I'm right there with you. Let me just inform everybody. The nominees were John Cena versus The Rock at WrestleMania 29, Brock Lesnar versus Triple H in a steel cage at Extreme Rules, Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus The Shield from Battleground, where it was for the Rhodes' job, and CM Punk versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Your winner somehow was Cena versus Rock at WrestleMania 29.
That just hits a nerve, because that was definitely not voted the best. I think any of the other matches could have been or were better and were probably voted more than The Rock and Cena. And I personally voted for CM Punk and Undertaker. That, I think, blew all of them out of the water, honestly. I didn't think any of them even should have had a chance for that. And I was disgusted. I was just like, there's no way they got more votes than them.
I still can't understand. This had screw job, WWE, clearly not showing the fit, and they didn't even show numbers to be like, that I could sit, someone could sit there and be like, that is total crap. There's no way those would be the numbers. This had WWE ignoring fan votes and giving the winner, giving it to who they wanted to give it to, so that way John Cena would leave the award show with at least one Slammy. It just had WWE meddling written all over it when they won.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't even want to talk about it. It's yeah.
And I don't know if this was I'm not saying it is, I'm just putting it out there. I don't know if this was to boost Triple H's ego or something. I don't understand how that cage match is nominated for Match of the Year either.
I would have rather seen CM Punk and Brock Lesnar from SummerSlam on there.
I agree. I thought CM Punk Brock Lesnar was a much better match. I thought I again was shocked at the lack of another match being on here. I was shocked that John Cena versus Daniel Bryan was not nominated for Match of the Year.
I honestly think I don't think the Shield and Goldust and Cody should have been on there. That's just not. I thought it would have just been strictly a main event thing, and that was kind of brought up too. I mean, it was a good match. I mean, I'm happy they got their jobs back, but I didn't think that was up for Match of the Year either. Here's
a question: have you actually watched that match?
I watched the highlights on the next day, but I did not.
Trust me, from someone who watched the Battleground pay-per-view and realized that this was really the only good match or anything good that happened from that entire show. Go watch that entire match. In fact, I'm going to see if I can find it on YouTube and post it to, and then we could post it to our Beyond the Podcast, or Beyond the Ring Podcast web page, Facebook page. Check out that match. That match was absolutely amazing. It was great, phenomenal tag team wrestling, and they had and then Dusty Rhodes getting involved, and the emotion, especially in that moment, because like I felt like this was the Rhodes storyline was the only good storyline that came out of, or the only storyline done right that came out of this whole authority thing. And it was, I agree that this tag team match, could be nominated. That's my opinion. I'm going to post it up there, so maybe if you have some time, and maybe if our listeners have some time, they can check out the match if they haven't, and they were kind of wondering why this made it onto possible match of the year, and check out the crowd emotion. The emotion, it was a phenomenal match. I feel like...
I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of Goldust. I honestly love Cody Rhodes. I always loved him. He's a good wrestler. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of Goldust. Never really has been.
Really? You're not into the whole Goldust being back?
I don't think he's a good wrestler. I think I don't know. I've seen he did the elbow drop how many times during the tag team match last night? And then he does his slaps. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of it. I'm not all for the whole Goldust being back, but I am happy Cody is back.
Wow, that's surprising. I'll be honest. I'm really into the Goldust being back. I think he's great. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. Yeah,
I mean, I would like to see Christian come back, but he still has concussion issues. What I saw on the WWE app, but I would like to see him come back.
And what's his name? And he was on the show last night.
Yeah. So I think they're gonna try to push towards him making a comeback. And I don't even think he was injured. He said on the app that he just had a kid, so that was probably the reason he was out. But
yeah,
good for him, and I just hope he would come back. So.
Very interesting. Let's see. Yeah, I think match of the year would have been better if they swapped, instead of doing Rock Cena, they did Cena Daniel Bryan, and then swapped Triple H Lesnar for Lesnar Punk. I think it would have really been a good category and a really hard category to predict, and it would have had that feeling that oh crap, anybody could win, any of these matches could win.
Yeah. I think that would be a much more, it would have been more not enthusiasm, but more just that those seconds before they say it, everybody would just be like, what's it going to be?
Yeah. So, Cena Rock won. We're just going to move on. I'm really pissed off about Taker and Punk not winning. I feel it was WWE pulling some shenanigans. I usually don't get this upset, but it really ruined my mood for the whole rest of for the last category. I posted up on Facebook that there's absolutely no freaking way in hell John Cena Rock 2 would ever get more votes than Taker v Punk or Shield versus the Rhodes. I don't even want to bother watching the rest of the show. And it annoyed me so much that I literally did not even bother. I didn't even want to bother watching the last segment with John Cena and Randy Orton and then hanging the belts up. I had no desire to watch that segment. I'm glad I did after seeing what happened, but I'm just saying.
See, I was the same exact way, but I took it the other way and kind of just turned it off, and I was done with Raw for the night.
Yeah, I was I actually started getting myself ready to go to bed. I was like, all right, I'm gonna fill up my glass of water and go take my contacts out and everything. I was done and ready to go to bed, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw a few, not highlights, but like pictures of what happened. Did they have all the champions go out? They did that, right?
Yeah, there was basically a bunch of former world heavyweight and WWE champions in the ring with them, and it was kind of like, okay, like we're all here. Let's bring out the two champions and let them talk, and basically promo off against each other. Which, honest to God, I got to be honest. I think John Cena last week and this week turned it up. Just he had that John Cena fire where like he was being legit with his promo and not trying to knock it off and be funny and all that other crap. So I felt like I thought it was good.
Yeah, I think honestly, Cena's had Orton's number the past few weeks.
Yeah.
In this little rivalry they've had going.
Now the way this ended was very interesting. Before we get to the ending, Triple H was basically in the ring and he's talking and he's kind of what's going on. Excuse me. And while Triple H is talking, he has to keep stopping because the crowd reaction is so incredibly loud for Daniel Bryan. And
yeah, I did like.
Yeah, when I mean loud for Daniel Bryan, I mean Triple H stopped talking because you could not hear. He's on the microphone and you could not hear what he was saying because the audience was chanting Daniel Bryan so loudly, and they were chanting yes so loudly that you really couldn't hear what was going on at certain points. And it was good that John Cena kind of brought that in, or that John Cena kind of brought that into his promo. Like he referenced Daniel Bryan and stuff like that. And then after, here's a very interesting part. Then proceeded afterwards to say about how Daniel Bryan never lost the WWE Championship fairly. He was screwed with the Money in the Bank. Then he had the title taken from him because of the screw job with the referee Fast Count. And then there was a no contest at Battleground. And then Shawn Michaels screwed him at Hell in a Cell. And John Cena said something very important here. He said, you never lost the championship fairly, and I look forward to a rematch somewhere in the future. And I wonder if that's setting up for Daniel Bryan to win the Royal Rumble so they can do Daniel Bryan, John Cena 2 at WrestleMania.
And that's something I would watch, honestly. I'm not a Cena fan, but I've been all about Bryan the past few months, so I would actually be looking forward to that match.
John Cena, in my opinion, is one of those performers who, when you put him out there with the right person, it's, what's the word I'm looking for? If you put him out there with the right person, he's going to have a phenomenal match. You put him out there, in all honesty, if you look back, they put him out there at Ryback, and I felt like it failed because Ryback isn't a great wrestler. But it feels like when you put John Cena out there with great wrestlers, that he tends to put on a great match. And you go back and you say, like, who was, like, great, like, think great John Cena matches, and, like, names that come to mind is like WrestleMania 23 against Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Money in the Bank. Yeah, 22 with Triple H, Money in the Bank, Night of Champions, that one Raw leading into WrestleMania, all three of those against CM Punk. SummerSlam with Daniel Bryan. It's like if you put him in there with a wrestler, you put him in there with someone who's great in the ring, it's almost like John Cena like brings out
feeds off that, yeah.
Yeah, he brings out the extra wrestler in him because he's trying to be better than that other person he's in the ring with.
Yeah, and I even think the Dolph Ziggler match he had with him when he fought for the his Money in the Bank was a good one too.
Good catch, great match. You're right.
Yeah, that was actually one of my favorite ones with John Cena.
So that's the Cena match that I would like to see. Anyway,
yeah.
To keep going, to close out the segment, basically what happened was they were talking, traded insults, and I think John Cena had the best. Like, I am so mad that they had the insult Slammy already, and I feel like the Slammy should be like the first Raw of the new year, so that way you can encompass everything from the year because I feel like this would have won Insult of the Year. And to say that John Cena gave Insult of the Year is crazy, thinking about John Cena's character. Basically what happened was, Randy Orton was going on, and John Cena said, how he had kind of said last week that, Randy Orton's become complacent. He's been given everything, and that's why he is the way he is. He's taking what everybody's giving him, and he's not working for it. I'm like, okay, he said that last week. He followed it up. It's almost like he built on it. And Orton was like, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to win because I'm that good, not because people are handing me stuff. And basically John Cena said to him something along the lines of, you are not that good, and you don't care about this, you don't care about wrestling, you don't care about this championship. The only reason why you want to win this unified championship is so that way you can hold the championship and parade around backstage saying, yay, yay, look, I did it. I'm finally what they said I was supposed to be 10 years ago. And I was like, like John Cena taking off the gloves here. Like, to sit there and be like Randy Orton saying, yay, I'm finally what I am. I'm finally what they wanted me to be, only 10 years later than I was supposed to be. Which is, crazy. I loved it.
I think I'm going to have to watch that after.
You should. Honest to God, go back and watch it. It was a very good promo from both men, which is saying something because both men, I feel like, are very stale with their promos. It was a great promo by both men. And then listen to what followed up after it. And this is cool because I'm kind of talking about it, and you don't know what happened, so it's almost like I feel like I'm storytelling here. Anyway.
Yeah.
So Randy Orton cheap shots John Cena. They start fighting, and I figured this was going to happen. I'm like, they got all the champions there, so they're going to get into a fist fight, and all the former champions are going to pull them apart. That's what happened. I was like, they're going to fist fight. They're going to pull them apart. I'm like, okay, this is predictable. Here comes the end credits. I'm done. I'm ready to go to bed. I stand up to literally, I'm like, okay, I'm going to stand up. As soon as I see the logo, I'm going to turn it off. So I stand up, I'm getting ready to walk to my bedroom. And what do I see? One of the guys holding back Randy Orton is CM Punk. Well, Randy Orton's like, trying to shake the guys off and ends up pushing Punk. Well, Punk takes offense to that, turns around and starts fighting with Randy Orton. So now Punk and Orton are fighting while people are holding back John Cena, which was great. So who's the guy so CM Punk's, hitting Randy Orton, and Triple H comes and throws CM Punk to the ground, like throwing him off of Randy Orton. Punk doesn't like that, so he turns around and kicks Triple H in the back of the head. So now I'm going nuts because I'm like, oh my God, like this isn't just a pull part. Like everybody is going to start fighting. This is awesome. So he pulls Punk. Punk kicks Triple H. After Punk kicks Triple H, out of nowhere, he gets Sweet Chinned Music by Shawn Michaels.
Now I'm watching. I need to watch this.
After he gets Sweet Chin Music, who is standing in the corner waiting for him? None other than the man who got screwed at Hell in a Cell. Daniel Bryan comes running in, knees Shawn Michaels right in the face. Randy Orton doesn't like that, so Randy Orton goes to grab a hold of, Randy Orton grabs a hold of Daniel Bryan, drops him with an RKO. Randy Orton goes to do the same thing to John Cena, but John Cena's too smart for that, obviously. So when he goes for the RKO, John Cena pushes Randy Orton right into Stephanie McMahon and knocks her down. So Triple H is back up from getting kicked in the head, realizes and sees what happens. Orton's like, yelling, trying to apologize. Randy Orton's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. He pushed me into her, blah, 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 blah. Triple H is having none of it, drops Randy Orton with a pedigree. Shenanigans, craziness. I loved it. Because that happened, I was like, oh my God, I'm glad that I didn't turn Raw off and just go, you know what, I'll just look at what happened tomorrow. I'm just gonna whatever after Cena and Rock won that Slammy. I'm so glad I didn't turn Raw off, that I decided to just keep watching for the last, 15 minutes.
Now I'm really mad that I didn't, because now I'm just like, I need to see this.
See, I would have been really mad too. I would have been like, oh, come on, seriously, that happened? I would have been on YouTube looking for that. It was great. I thought it was a great ending to Monday Night Raw for, something that really, I felt like, it drained the energy out of me, and then they did a great job with bringing the energy back up and bringing me back into it.
I would say something. I just don't. I need to see it now.
Yeah. It has me very intrigued to watch the championship match, and I was intrigued to watch the championship match in the first place. In fact, when this is done, you can go. I'm posting that to our. This is the WWE.com cut of it, which I think is just the ending of. Yes, it's the ending of John Cena's promo, followed up by the fighting and the ending. Yep, it's like the 3-minute long video. Just cuts out a lot of the talking portion of it. So yeah, I just posted that on Beyond the Ring podcast on Facebook. So you can find the link easy, and if anybody else wants to watch it, because they did the same thing and were so pissed off that they turned the show off. I was that close to turning the show off too. So yeah. Anyway, is there anything else you'd like to throw in there? I think we will call it a night.
Well, are we gonna have another show before Survivor Series?
Oh, we're not gonna have another show before the
pay-per-view. That's what or not Survivor Series. Wow, TLC. But yeah.
I know what you were saying, but okay, let's real quick. How about let's not go into because I do have to get some stuff done here tonight. So let's not go into why we think they're gonna win like last time. Let's just go through and pick our winners, and I'll get Jimmy to pick his winners as well. Just let me get to a new page in my notebook so I can write it down. All right, let's start with our kickoff match. It is Dolph Ziggler versus Fandango.
I won off, but yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with Fandango on this one.
Really? You're going to go Fandango on it?
Yep.
That's interesting, because I'm going to go the opposite, and I'm going to go Ziggler. That's actually a tough one because both guys are kind of in the same spot.
Yeah.
Creative-wise. All right. Let's look at our Intercontinental Championship match. Big E Langston defending against Damian Sandow.
Big E. I don't think that I have to doubt that one. I think they should keep him as the title holder for a while. See what he can do with it.
I completely agree with you. I do not think that Damian Sandow is going to win. I'm going to go Big E Langston. This is a tough one. AJ Lee versus Natalya for the Women's Championship.
Hey, I want to go biased on this and say Natalya, but I'm going to say AJ retains the title.
Yeah, this is a really tough one for me. As much as I don't want to, I'm going to say Natalya. I really don't want to, but I'm going to say Natalya.
I wouldn't be surprised to see her win either, though.
Yeah. Our first 3-on-1 handicap match, CM Punk versus The Shield.
I think it's going to be The Shield. I think they should maybe build this up to a bigger pay-per-view and have them fight again, but I'm going to have to go with The Shield.
I'm going to go with CM Punk. I know it's crazy. I'm going to go with CM Punk because I think there's going to be a Shield miscommunication that Punk is going to capitalize on, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Not going to get crazy into it. Our second 3-on-1 handicap match, we have Daniel Bryan versus the Wyatt family.
I think this is where the Wyatts are going to have Daniel go heel for a little bit, honestly. I think it's going to be the Wyatts.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to pick the Wyatts. And last but not least, our WWE Unified Championship match. I think that's what we voted on to call it. John Cena versus Randy Orton, unifying the championships. Who's your pick, John Cena or Randy Orton?
This is the hardest match in my opinion. I'm gonna have to. That's just hard. I think I'm gonna have to go Cena on this one.
So you're gonna go John Cena. I agree. This is the hardest match on the card to predict, and I love that this is the hardest match. You know what I mean? I don't like this whole the whole predictability type of thing. I love that I can't predict who's going to win this match because they could easily go forward with either one of these guys. I'm going to have to say I'm going to go John Cena. Especially after last night with John Cena shaking Daniel Bryan's hand and saying, I look forward to the rematch. I feel like John Cena is foreshadowing on purpose that he is going to win the Unified Championship, and then Daniel Bryan will be the guy who wins the Royal Rumble. And then they will face off in the main event of WrestleMania 30. So I'm going to run down these picks. Jason has Fandango, Big E Langston, AJ Lee, The Shield, The Wyatt family, and John Cena. I have chosen Dolph Ziggler, Big E Langston, Natalya, CM Punk, the Wyatt family, and John Cena. I will be sure to get Jimmy's. I'll be sure to get Jimmy's posts, so that or Jimmy's picks, so that way we can post them as the show goes on Sunday. We can post them prior to the show, and as the show goes on Sunday, we can see if Jason walks out a 2-0 predictions champion.
And I think I will. retain this title.
Or so you say. I believe I'm going to win the championship. So,
No.
So that's it for our show. We did lots of Slammy talk because it was the Slammies. It's a big time of the year, end of the year, and that is all for this week. I am Andrew. That is Jason. Jason, say goodbye to the people so we can sign off.
See you guys next week, and have a safe week for everybody in the icy, snowy weather.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.